Welcome back to Let's Talk with Gales and Dean. I'm your boy Gales as usual, and to my left is
It's your boy, the insane Mr. Ding. How you doing, my brother, Mr. Gales?
a lot better now. A
A
lot
lot
better
better
now,
now.
man. I miss you. How
Hey
you
man,
been?
miss you too, man. Let's say, hey, that's what I'm here for, man. Hey, check this out, man. So when we doing our intro and stuff, when we got
Yo,
the little music and stuff going, I'm sitting
right.
there like I'm in the radio booth, man, like it's the quiet storm when it came to the R&B beat. But I'm saying stuff like in pertaining to our show to get people to tune in, and then when they go to like the hip hop beat, I was doing the
Right.
little chant to that right there. You might want to record me do that. We might need to implement that. It's gonna take a
Right.
couple of tries because we got to get it perfect. But
Right.
yeah.
Will do, but be careful with that chant stuff, man. We gotta do some research on this Kanye West album. But man, don't ruin
Yeah.
Kanye for me.
I'm not ruining Kanye thing. I'm not ruining Kanye, but it's he performed a ritual.
So all right, man. For our Spotify and Apple iTunes users, all three of y'all, man, look, y'all can't see me, but theater of the mind sort of thing. As I take the robe off, man, it's freezing in here. Like our AC unit, man. The wife likes it super chilly,
That's
so y'all
good.
have to forgive me.
That's
There,
good.
now I'm back into my uniform. So yeah, man. So today's show, we're gonna run down a little Mac Jones and people like him talk, a little blended
Mm-hmm.
family, little NBA vaccine stuff. But
Oh
first,
yeah.
first I want to get into some conspiracy Dean stuff. You say I'll never let you do the conspiracy Dean stuff. Here it is. We're gonna try it right off the bat. What do you got for us, man?
This conspiracy ding stuff today is and don't quote me on everything because I got to do more research on it, but I did some research on it during the week. And it's got to do with Kanye West and his performance of Donda. Yeah. If you listen to the performance, if you've seen the performance, which I haven't seen it in entirety because the stream that I watched it on, they would show it and then they would stop and break down and they tell you what's going on in this scene and they tell you what's going on in that scene. But anyway, it was performing a ritual, and it was a ritual for the Illuminati, which was a ritual of a Kanye, basically
allegedly,
don't quote me on this, putting himself as the Antichrist. He brung out Marilyn Manson out the house, and if you see the house is surrounded by military and fences. So the house is supposed to be us, the people, and you got the military and fence around, basically like martial law. They got us enclosed, and we do as they say. Okay, you bring out Marilyn Manson. Everybody know Marilyn Manson has always been, quote unquote, the devil's guy. Okay,
satanic. So allegedly.
So you bring him out, and you got Kanye just supposed to be the Antichrist in this come out, and Marilyn Manson basically vanished off. As you know, if you read Revelation, the Antichrist is supposed to make all these miracles happen, supposed to look perfect and everything, but in reality, he's not. And at the end, they had a bride come in all white to Kanye, as that was supposed to be the wife of the Antichrist. Now, like I said, I ain't did all my research on it. I'm gonna do more on it this week. So next week when I come back to the show, I have more. But the performance Donda was supposed to be a ritual for the Illuminati, and Kanye basically saying allegedly saying is a performance of Illuminati and a performance of Antichrist. I don't know. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so anything I see conspiracy, I sit there and I look at it and I go into it. I sent you a link, Mr. Gales, on something totally different, but it was conspiracy. Some dealing to this of what's really going on in the world.
It's fine. And
so to all my conspiracy people out there, this is me. I'm big into it. I've been called crazy many times, even by my co-host here. He laughs at me, but it's just something I like to do. I know a lot of you wouldn't think that, listen, being an athletic person, that you would think that I've been there. But
hold on, Dean. Hold on. I'm not laughing at you. It's just shocking. And most of it, I don't know if anybody else is out there as I look to the audience. I don't know if anybody out there watching and or listening has the same sort of issue where sometimes you get nervous. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all, my jaw gets all tight. I get this big old thing that pops in my forehead, and I do this nervous laughter because I'm like, oh man, because like if what you're saying is true, like that's heartbreaking for me, man. I love some Kanye for all his quirks and ups and downs, whatever. I always feel like he believes what he's saying and doing. I always feel like there was, especially since his like grandmother and mother died, I always felt like he has a strong ties as a Christian, but he just wasn't comfortable with his traditional go to church, you listen to, all this sort of thing. Like I'm all for people mixing things up, as long as it's serving the greater good. So when you say something like that, I get real nervous, man. Because
the thing is, like,
hang on, because here's the two options. If you're right, dang Kanye. But if you're wrong, dang Dean. So you see, I can't win in this situation. So I get really nervous.
Well, the thing is, and rightfully so, I don't know. This is not me saying it, but I am a conspiracy, so I go in and it's a lot of shit going on.
Pay the man.
That these people who broke this film down, they had a lot of pros, but it was a lot of cons to it too. It's just something for me to go and do my own research on it. And I like some of his music too. He kind of got me he kind of got me a long time ago when he said he was Jesus. You can't do nothing like it. I just
allegedly, because I don't know if he's said Jesus,
allegedly said that. So you can't. But
a lot
of
this stuff is art. That's why I say the same thing with Marilyn Manson. You see Marilyn Manson, his regular self, he looks nothing like he does on stage.
I've never seen that dude regular self.
Oh man,
I've never seen a picture of him regular self. I promise you, I haven't.
Right, man. So look, I'm not gonna stay too much on that, but
because I got to get more research, and next week I have it. And we can break this down. Even the other video I sent you.
Hey, I'm gonna sit you to the side and talk to the audience for a minute, okay? We need to have a chat. All right. Hey, audience. It's your old pal Gales, Uncle Gales, whatever you want to call me. So look, first ever Conspiracy Dean segment. Bear with us. Let me let you peek behind the curtain a little bit. Dean sent me a link on some vaccination stuff, and the CIA guy is very interesting. And so I was like, cool. And then I give him the space for it, and he has something else. I just really can't keep up with the guy. So if you all find yourself like me, just hang in there. I promise you get the research. It's going to be quite entertaining and informational. So back to the show. Thank you, audience. Welcome back, Mr. Dean.
I'm here.
Mac Jones. Do we love him or hate him?
Did you say love or hate him?
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing against the guy. My thing is with the Patriots, with this Mac Jones situation, it ain't working out as planned as they thought it was. Maybe they got rid of Cam too quick. Mac Jones, okay, he looked good in camp and everything, and Cam was sucking, and then he had the COVID issues and everything. But Cam is still a veteran. Even if you kept Cam on the roster, you would have still had him as a backup. Whether Cam wants to be a backup or not, sometimes in the NFL, you got to, when you just not the same player as you was, you got to take a back seat, but always be ready when it's your time called to come up. Michael Vick did it. Michael Vick lit the league up for years, man. Then when he got in this little trouble, he came back as a backup. But every time his number was called, he came in and performed. So that's what I'm saying to Cam. But back to the Patriots, maybe you pulled the plug on Cam too quick because Mac Jones have not looked good in the last 2 games,
right?
And even to the point they brought in Brian Hoyer one game. So Cam is a big upgrade from Brian Hoyer. Can Cam still do Cam things? No, his body's beat up. The guy took a beating for the style he played. But did the Patriots pull the plug too quick on Cam? I think so. And they went all in on Mac Jones too early. Let's not forget Mac Jones is a rookie. He's a good quarterback, but Mac Jones is a rookie. Okay, so what rookie gonna do? You're gonna make rookie mistakes. So I think they pulled the plug on Cam too quick. Are they regretting it? Probably. Will they come out and say it? No. But the plug was pulled too quick on Cam.
But so as we bring up the title, today's title being greed and loyalty, right? We're gonna kind of do a little bit of wordplay, bear with us. But when I bring up Mac Jones, I'm talking about the idea of sticking things out, having your plan A, your plan B, your plan C, and if those don't work out, find another way. Like we have a pandemic, pun intended. We have a pandemic of everyone trying to cater their lives, everything around them to themselves, right? We got players who, oh, I'm not going to start. Well, I'm just going to transfer where they will start me. And boom, now I'm a starter. Instead of working, doing the work and, staying with the program, that's something that Mac Jones is doing, right? Even on the professional level. And I understand your point about Cam Newton, but Cam Newton got a whole bunch of stuff that could cause him not to be available. And your best ability, especially in the NFL at that level, is your availability, right? So with him being very open about, being very careful what he puts in his body, he's not taking the vaccine, but he's also not following protocols, I guess, because he's, tested positive or got exposed or whatever, and he was out. And that's how Mac Jones even got his chance to really shine, because Cam Newton was out because of this virus protocol stuff. You know what I mean? So I think they may have got rid of him for many reasons, but if a guy's not going to be there, it don't matter how good you are. As great as Michael Vick was, as soon as he got hurt, like he's nothing. He's not a threat anymore to the opposition. You know what I mean? But what I'm talking about, when I bring up Mac Jones, I'm talking about someone who seems to want to stick to something until he completes it, right? And so I think that's the lesson we want to pull out of this particular situation. Fair enough?
It's fair enough. It's fair, but that also goes with the greed and loyalty, because you got to think about it, man. The Patriots, they was loyal to, Tom Brady was loyal to them for years. For years. Tom Brady took pay cuts and everything. Like, we talking about the goat of football right here, in my opinion. Right. I just, the guy is, Tom Brady is the GOAT of football. Like, to be, 43, 44 and go out and win a Super Bowl, on a brand new team during a COVID year, you didn't even get. So they built what you call it? They built chemistry as the season went on. Because right. With COVID protocols and everything, you couldn't really have your training camps and everything like you usually do. So they built chemistry as the year on. If you think about it, the Bucs didn't even start off good. They hit a span. They lost like 3 in a row. Right. And they went on a run. And so, that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady was loyal to them, but him and Belichick had one big falling out, and then that's where the greed come in. Look, we're gonna it's the Patriots or anything. We'll let you go.
But that's if you're saying that Belichick's loyalty was to Tom Brady. The biggest issue is that Belichick was very loyal and consistently so to the Patriots.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And he's always he makes what he believes is the best decision. When you hear who's the guy? The linebacker.
Which one?
The one who'll be on ESPN. Hey,
Bart Scott.
Not Scott. Anyway, well, you hear him talk all the time about the Patriot way, right?
You sure it's the linebacker or the lineman? Because Damon Woody played for the Patriots.
No. It's definitely a linebacker. Like one of the names that we remember. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this. Don't
Marcus Spears. Marcus Spears he was a defensive tackle.
Like white dude or Italian dude, some dude.
Oh, Teddy Bruschi.
Bruschi. There he is. Yeah. When he's talking about the Patriot way, he's talking about the same thing. And how I feel really confident about this is that the same thing that Brady's camp was complaining about, even Brady's father, it's the same thing that other players was looking at as the Patriot way, which is, his father is quoted as saying that you can't treat a veteran like Tom Brady like a 20-year-old rookie. And Bill Belichick's thing is, I'll treat everybody the same. Like, frap you, Tom Brady. And the idea that, you have a Jimmy Garoppolo, right, who you're trying to bring along and get ready for whenever Tom Brady is done, right? Because the owner already said, hey, he gets to end his story here however the frap he wants. This man has made me so much money. It brought me so much notoriety with all this winning, all these championships. But I think that Belichick is pretty consistent there. And Tom Brady, forced Garoppolo out and then decides to bounce.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. And now he's building super teams with all these, superstars who people kind of threw away. Like, I think they signed that Richard Sherman, right?
The rich get richer.
Man, so Richard Sherman, you got your Antonio Browns out there, like even Gronk, who's all beat up and whatnot. Like, these people are willing to play for Brady. And
guess what?
That organization getting around Brady and giving him the support that he needs is what's really was driving this ridiculous championship run. Another Hall of Fame career he's starting right now. That's crazy.
Guess what? Tom Brady. So this is the pitch. Okay, if you're a veteran player, not even a veteran, if you're an up and coming player, Bill Belichick tell you come to the Patriots and see what I've done. Look at my track record. Okay, then you got that same player. He's stuck in between, but this player, Tom Brady, called, be like, you want to play in the Super Bowl? Come on, man.
I get you, man.
You want to go play with the legendary coach who can coach you and get you to the Super Bowl? Proven he can do it. And with not a lot of superstars. A lot of the players on those Patriots team was not superstars.
Right.
But you got Mr. Brady over here. Yeah, it's fine. You can go play with the Patriots. Great organization.
That's the difference.
For me. But you want to play in the Super Bowl?
That's the difference. It's a win now situation or a win consistently over time. Right. I think in the long run, Brady is going to retire. His body is going to give up on him somewhere, somehow. Eventually, right? This dude's talking about playing to 50. Maybe Belichick can coach till he's 70, 80 years old if he wants to, if he can be that consistent.
He almost 70 now. If we ain't mistaken, he in his 60s, Belichick.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how close to 70 is, but he in his 60 though. Because the oldest coach in the league is Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is 70. Right. But Pete Carroll in great shape.
But you gotta I feel like, I don't know, we gotta be careful with this whole greed versus loyalty thing. What are you gonna be loyal to? I think it's the biggest thing. Right. So that's even if you think about Christianity, your one loyalty is supposed to be to God and God only. And then, as the Bible says, we'll add all that other stuff to you. Like, I know what you want, I know what you need, and I'm gonna give you everything accordingly. Right. So speaking of loyalty, moving on into our next topic, blended families. Whew. We need more time for that one. Matter of fact, sorry, Lane, we're gonna cut it. Let's just move on into
yeah, that's a lot.
Look, we just cut it. Look, we will have to. Matter of fact, next week, tune in. We'll make the most of the show. We'll go a little bit longer. We'll make it about blended families. But for now, we're just gonna move right on into. Welcome back. Hey. Topics. And I'm so sorry for people who just listen in on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple iTunes. You see them plugs? Bam, bam, bam.
Nah.
Yeah. So trending topics, aka
trending
tropics.
My trending topics for this week is the NBA players and the vaccination. So this was media week in the NBA because ironically, season is 16, 17 days away. NBA season already, which is fun. I'm a football guy, but I also love the NBA, and that's my time to talk crap about Bron James. But I'm not gonna do it until the season starts. But anyway, so they had this big thing. They were asking all the players and the coaches what's their intake on this vaccination. You had more players come out disagreeing and said they didn't want to take it. They're against taking it. Even for the players and the coaches that have it, they said they won't look at their teammates or their associates different because they didn't take it. I think Jonathan Isaac came out and said, "I'm with you." He basically said, "I'm with you if you take it. I'm with you if you not take it. That's your decision. That's your body." Everybody got their own reasons for not wanting to take the vaccination. Wiggins, that played for the Warriors, it's someone his religion that he will not take it, and he's willing to take fines and everything because he said he's not going to take it. Steve Kerr came out and had his back on the subject. Draymond Green, Steph Curry, they had his back on the thing, but the NBA is getting to the point in some cities, if you don't have it, you can't even, I guess, come into the arena or whatever. Kyrie went on a big rant about it, not wanting to take it, and he's getting a lot of flack for it. But I'm like, this Kyrie, man, it's his own opinion. Me, myself, I'm not vaccinated, and me and you have many a conference. You've tried to convince me all type of ways to get it.
And you vice versa not to.
Yeah, and most of the people in my family have it, but that's not going to change my mind to get it. I got my reason that I don't want it. I got my reason that I'm not going to take it. Will I lose friendships and families on through? I hope not. I hope y'all respect my decision, but if so, hey, you got to do what you got to do. But it's just everybody got their own opinion on it, and I'm not looking down on anybody that don't want to take it because I don't have it. But if you got it, okay. I mean, if you got it, I'm not looking down on you either. That's your decision. That's your body. Everybody got their own beliefs of why they should or should not take this vaccination. So I found it very interesting that the NBA, a lot of guys are coming out speaking against it. Brad Stevenson, he went on a good little thing about it, saying like, okay, basically Brad Stevenson said, okay, he asked the reporter, the guy who asked him the question, he said, okay, if you're vaccinated, can you still get the COVID-19? The reporter said yes. He said, so if you're not vaccinated, can you still get COVID-19? Reporter said yes. So what's the difference? Either way, you can still get COVID-19, whether you have the vaccine or not. So why are we trying to force this vaccination on people when you can still get it when you have the vaccine? Right. I see exactly where you're coming from. If you can still get it, I mean, what is it? It's a bigger, to me, and me and you've talked about it, it's a bigger agenda to this vaccination.
Allegedly,
no, allegedly, my ass. It is because we
first of all pay the man. Second of all, you had your conspiracy dean. You talked about what you talked about,
okay,
which we were not prepared for, but that's on you. Okay, you had your chance.
I got to know next week.
Into the realms of referencing things, right? So one thing you said was that most people are coming out against the vaccination. Most people, I mean. As of, I'm looking at this here, this ESPN report, as of September 30th of this year, 95% of the NBA is vaccinated. Mm-hmm. All right. For you kids who may be watching out there, that means that out of 100 people, out of every 100 people, 95 people have gotten a vaccination. Okay. And I am definitely with you with the Wiggins and the Kyries of the world. Like, I understand people's concerns, right? Especially black people, man. Like, look, let me look at the camera here. And sorry for you people who are just listening on Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes, and Spotify. Yeah, plug. I'm looking at you directly, audience. Like, you need to understand, like, black people have gotten a pretty rough start and a continuation of that rough start in many different ways. There's a myriad of ways, and we're not going to get into that because we'll be here all day talking about
all day,
right? So you got to understand our level of skepticism, and there should be nothing wrong with that. No one should be down Kyrie's throat. However, I will say, Mr. Dean, that I feel like at this point we know that the virus is real, no matter how it came to be, right? Whether it happened naturally or whether it happened in some lab somewhere. Like, I don't even care about that at this point. Right now, I care about getting back to some sense of normalcy, right? Mm-hmm. The idea that you have two choices at this point, in my mind, this is my own opinion. Mm-hmm. You have two choices. Get the vaccination or follow certain protocols. Would you agree with that much?
Yeah. Yeah, follow certain protocol. Like, okay, and I'm not.
No, I'm not. Hang on. We're gonna do this piecewise because I need people to really get on the same page of what information is out there. Okay, 95% of the NBA is vaccinated. The WNBA, I believe they're like 99%. There's only one player, I think, or one person in that organization that has not been vaccinated, right? The idea that what's going on with Wiggins and Kanye, and almost say Kanye, with Kyrie Irving, is that they play in states that have passed a law saying that if you're going to be involved in these large arena concerts, games, whatever, that you must show proof of vaccination, which means for you, the entertainer, i.e. the NBA basketball player, that means that you have to be vaccinated to participate. And what they're saying is like what what Kyrie Irving is saying is that I may be willing to sit out all of my home games. And that's fine. That's also his decision. But what the NBA or the Brooklyn Nets cannot do is supersede the law of New York State. Brooklyn is inside of New York City. It's a borough of New York City, which is inside New York State. So that's the real issue. There's a law that for that state that they said you can't be a part of that without vaccinations.
Is that not going against our constitutional right? We're not in a martial law. So you're trying to force this on people. But you said these states passed the law. That's like basically forcing people to get this damn thing.
No.
We're not there yet.
Understand, people vote for those people who are making those decisions. If people didn't want that to happen, Dean, they would literally just call their representatives and it wouldn't happen because politicians just care about getting reelected and keeping their pockets lined.
Yeah.
So once you know that, once you really understand that, you understand that the power is in people. And I will say in New York City, those people who are watching people die by the thousands because there are millions of people that live in those cities. Hospitals full. You got the daggone people, like the body count is rising.
Allegedly full. They never take the cameras inside the hospitals.
Oh, my Lord. So if you're going to come, all right, let's say allegedly. All right. But you have actual medical professionals and you have actual legislative, politicians who are asking for federal help. Like you got your boy Ron DeSantis down there in Florida. He's literally begging the federal government for help while publicly saying, ain't nothing going on here. Like, you don't see an issue with that?
I mean, yeah.
He said, don't worry about the virus. Come on to Florida, enjoy yourself.
Well, that's because he wants the money.
Those other states. But then he's secretly been like, hey, we're out of room. We don't have enough people. Hey,
that's because
they literally put out something in Florida asking people to push back their surgeries because they don't have room for them.
Guess what? Guess why he telling people to come to Florida? He want that revenue that Florida gets every year.
So now you understand it, but it's the idea of they want to stay elected. As we go super long on this topic, man, I love it. We're going to have to keep having these conversations. But as far as Andrew Wiggins and Kanye, Lord, I'm just going to call him Kanye. As far as Kanye West with the Brooklyn Nets, my bad, man. Kyrie Irving with the Nets and Wiggins with the Warriors. They just happen to be in states that pass really strenuous laws for this. Laws passed by people who were voted on by the people. So in those areas, this is what they agree on, that people need to be vaccinated if they're going to be involved in these huge events. So that's fine. If you want to say, hey, man, I don't want to do the vaccine, that's fine. Cam Newton, same thing. I'm very particular about what I put in my body. That's fine. But guess what? You're not going to be available from here and there because you still want to go out and party with a bunch of people unmasked. And that's going to cost you money. That's going to cost any team that signs Cam Newton a good quarterback. Because whether it's injury from his old age or like, oh, he was out last night, he got, he contracted COVID, whatever. Remember, your best ability is your availability. But this idea that, we should all just hug it out, man, I get it. I don't like the idea that anybody on either side of this debate is coming at people personally. Oh, you stupid, you this, and that. Man, you dumb. I can't believe you just believe whatever they tell you and taking vaccines. Oh, man, you stupid. You're not taking the vaccine. It's going to help you. And literally me and my wife and my family, we sat down, we did as much research. And here's how I did it in my mind. Let's say they're both lying. Both sides are lying. One side seems to care about their lie way more than the other side. That's what I found. Because you can say all day they're like allegedly and I believe XYZ. That's fine. But Show me some paperwork. Show me some like documentation. Like it's not really, it doesn't really exist for one side. The other side, if they're lying, they are lying hard. You know what I mean? Dean, if you're supposed to read a book and do a book report the next week in class, right? Let's say neither one of us did it, right? But I at least Googled some cliff notes and took out, I watched a movie or something, right? And the teacher asked both of us, hey, did y'all do this report? And you're like, yeah. And I give my presentation based on the movie and the notes that I Googled. And you just came in there, saying what you feel like the book was about. One of those liars care a little bit more about their lie. They're going to be more believable. But I don't know. But I'm with you. We shouldn't be trashing Kyrie Irving with the Nets, not Kanye West or Wiggins or anybody else, man. This is a tough situation we're all in. But I do believe at this point, Dean, we should all be looking at two options. Vaccination. If you're not going to do that, get yourself tested, cover in mask, stay away from people. That's the only way to beat a virus, no matter where it came from, allegedly or not.
You're right. We did spend a long time on that topic. Sorry, people, we didn't mean to do that. But look, when we get in,
I'm a liar. I'm gonna tell you.
When we get in these debates, me and my counterpart, Mr. Gales, like we go at it, but very respectfully. Like he gives good insight on when I got something throw to him, and when I throw something to him, he'd be like, "Dean, do your research. You send me the research. Send me the links."
Always, man. Like I love when people say, "Man, educate yourself." But like, aren't you just listening to a YouTube video? You know what I mean? That's my only gripe. When people come at me with like, man, you got to educate yourself. It's like, okay, cool. Where can I read the science? Where can I read all these notes? Where can I get the information?
Hey, I give them to you.
Look forward. No, you do. But I'm saying I've had our friends list.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
There's some
I do give it to you though, and tell you to go.
Man, you got to look for it. Bro.
I tell you to go look at it, and you take your insight on it, and you come back to me, and we'll debate it, because you always find something different in the content that I don't, and I find what my content what I want to take for it.
I'm about to say, there are sometimes that you've absolutely changed my mind on things, because I'm like, hey, I believe this. You're like, bro, let me tell you about this, and I go look at. I was like, okay, give me the info. You send me the info. I look at it. Like, bro, you was right, man. My bad. Like this whole Kanye West thing. Like I've been bumping this, trying to get through this Kanye West album.
But next week,
I'm not even. I don't want to get back on it.
I'm gonna have more. I'm gonna have more so we can debate it. But let's go.
You're right, man. Look, let's just move on into the next segment, that gummit. All right, stay safe, people. Challenge of the week. Cows. The T is silent.
Very
all
silent.
right. Challenge of the week.
Challenge of the week, man. Challenge of the week. Y'all know me. I do the physical and the healthy part of it because I want us all to stay healthy and in great physical shape. But I'm gonna make it easy this week. Okay? And I've actually done this. I started last week, and my body has told me, yeah. So I tried to cut out, and what I did, I cut out the sweets. I limit myself to like maybe a sweet a day, or possibly two. Thanks a lot. A cold drink and a half. And I'm telling you, man, by did y'all see this fool just cut me off? What the hell, man?
Sorry.
But
behind the scenes,
man, by Wednesday and Thursday, man, I could just tell, man, I was like so tired, man, and just drained. Even like I pushed through my workout, I took pre-workout, but I was still tired. And when your body's so used to intaking sugar and a lot of calories, and you cut that stuff out, your body pulls some of that fat inside of you to feed those calories, and then in the process it tires you out. And so it'll take you'll go through about a 3-4 day spans, and man, you just tired and fatigued, but you'll overcome that once your body gets used to it. You might have headaches and everything. So that's my challenge to people this week. If you intaking a lot of sweets, a lot of cold drinks during the week, limit yourself to one cold drink a day, maybe a cold drink and a half. That means drink one during the day, a full one. And if you drink one at night, don't drink the full thing, half. And if you're eating a lot of snacks, and I'm bad on the Little Debbie's and the candy bars and the brownies, cut that out. Limit yourself to one a day. It's going to take, your body going to feel it. You're going to be tired. You're going to be fatigued. But that's your inside of your body. Pull it from the calories and the fat inside of you. It's pulling from there to try to get you energy. But after those 3 days, or you might be drained and tired, you'll bounce back and you'll feel so much better. You'll be so much energized. Your body just feels so just loose and energized, energetic. Whatever job you do, you'll perform it better because your body ain't taking in all that bad stuff. So that's my challenge to people this week.
I love it. I love it. I love it. My bad. I'm still back here doing last minute crap like I ain't supposed to. But as my main man said, oh, sorry. Give him a definitive for our audience who's not watching but just listening. One more time. Dean's challenge is to
cut down on your sweets and cold drink intake this week. Limit yourself to one cold drink a day and maybe one like snack. What I mean snack, like a little Debbie cake, cookie, cake, candy bar. Just try to limit yourself to one of those a day. If you were used to eating a bunch of those a day, we got to cut that out and limit to one.
I love it. So as he says, he does the physical stuff. Because Dean, so here's a peek behind the curtain for people who may just be joining us. Dean does the physical, I do the mental, right? So he takes care of the body. I'll try to help take care of the mind. This week's challenge that I have here is do a self-check, okay? Anytime you find yourself overwhelmed or feeling like you can't get through something or whatever it is, that's fear creeping into your psyche. And as we all know, fear can be quite paralyzing, right? So the ideal is whatever scares you, whatever is overwhelming you this week, just take a deep breath and think about, is there one thing I can do to help tip the scales towards being productive anyway? Like for me, man, I had some struggles this last couple of weeks, man. And I'm thankful for, friends like Dean, Chulo, Rich, Paco, all those people, man, who are out there who just, know something may be off and they check on you like, hey, man. Sometimes, I ask Dean, like, hey, next time I start slacking, I need you to cuss me out and get me going. I need that energy. People need people. We need each other, So do a self-check. Anytime you feel overwhelmed or beat down by something, just take a deep breath and just turn this around and just try to do it one little step at a time. It may be as simple as like, man, I'm just going to get up and take a shower. That's the only thing I need to get done today. Right? If, like we're doing all this movie stuff, like, man, I'm going to take one box and unpack it. You know what I mean? Whatever it is out there, just take baby steps towards that goal. And Mr. Dean, I always said, like, we got to figure out some sort of right, for Dean's Dome. Dean's Dome, he gives you his best top fives and the best things. What do you got for us this week? And look, one of these days, I'm telling you, it's going to be your face. It's going to pop up in Dean's Dome. Top five, whatever. What do you got this week?
Man, Dean's Dome this week, top five. My top five is shows that our top five shows throughout preteen and teen years. And here go my top five. Not in no specific order. Top five.
Remember, make him wait for it, Dean. All right. Yeah. Top five. Just let it soak in, people. That's right. Go ahead.
All right. Yeah. No. So the top five shows through our preteen and teen years.
So wait,
Eddie
Winslow. Hold on. You see me working behind the scenes back here. I'm so sorry, Mr. Dean.
Yeah, I seen it.
Right?
Yeah.
Just bear with me. Let me do look. YouTube audience, can you hear this?
Tell about you.
I mean, did you hear that?
No.
Mm-mm. Hold on, man. Hold on. We're gonna get this right. Okay. If I leave it like that, what happens? Huh?
I don't hear nothing, bro.
What? How's that not working? Oh, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna do some music, some movie magic. That means I gotta edit. I hate editing, man. I frankly hate it, but I think you'll like it. Hopefully, it'll make it worth it. All right. So last time, number 5.
I didn't even get to number 3.
No, I know. I'm saying, go ahead. Number 5, just for recording purposes. Number 5.
Step by Step. Show on TGI Fridays. I know everybody remembers.
Hang on. Are you listening from worst to best?
No, I'm just listing them because in my opinion, it wasn't no worst to best. It's just shit that we watched.
Yeah, pay the man. But I'm saying, like, I want your top 5. Like, you count down. Like,
Okay,
top
all
5
right, all right,
quarterbacks, top
all right.
5, whatever. All right. Can you do it from the top?
Yep.
All right. All right. Go ahead.
All right. My top 5 shows during our teen years. Number one had to be for me. Number one had to be. I watched it every daggum weekend. It wasn't a Saturday morning that went by that I missed the episode of. I actually liked it.
Pause. Oh, I'm so sorry. You're still doing 1 to 5. Top 5, you count down. 5, 4, 3, 2.
I just said 2.
No, I know, but you number 5, and you say blah blah blah, and then you give your little talk, and then we go number 4, and then you say what your number 4 is, and you talk. Let's kill it. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Number 5.
Number 5, man, had to be Are You Afraid of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark came on Nickelodeon, man. It was like, I think it was Friday night, Saturday night, but it was on Nickelodeon, but like as being a preteen, that scared the crap out of you. Even though like you go back and look at it now, that stuff wasn't scared. It was just the music and stuff. And it was always something dealing with like little Halloween things, little ghost stories. But that was pretty scary at that time. But it was one of the good shows. Number 4, I would have to say Step by Step. Step by Step was part of TGI Friday. Great show. That was another don't miss. You was in the house on Friday night just for this show. You sat there and watched it every weekend. I love that. Number 3 for me. This is gonna be a hard one, man. Number 3.
Don't look. You gotta pull back a little bit. Make them wait for it. Make them want it. You know what I mean? You gotta.
So now I gotta start all over again.
No. Wherever you at. No. You're good.
Well, I'm in number 3.
I'm just saying, like, you're running through. You're excited about your top 5, as you should be, as one should be, and I'm grateful for it. But I need you to make people want it. What's taking them so long? Give it to us. I want number 3, and you deliver. Okay.
All right.
Hit it.
Number 3, people on the list, as my counterpart laughs over there.
Oh, this is great.
What could number 3 be for Mr. Dean? Yeah. Number 3, man, it's got to be Kenan and Kel, man. I know all of y'all know about Kenan and Kel, man. Kenan and Kel was a great show. 2 good actors, man, that still are performing today. Really haven't even aged much. They still look the same. And they show their famous line is "Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?" Yeah, so that's my number 3. Number 2 for you, boy. And this was hard. This was very hard for me for number 2.
Phrasing.
But number 2 on the Dean's top 5 list, Family Matters. Family Matters was part of TGI Friday. I think ABC. And anything, that Friday night for that little 3-hour span that Family Matters was in, you didn't go nowhere. You didn't go outside, and you was in there looking at that show. Steve Urkel was, the star of that show, and then he became Stephon Arkell. Stephon Arkell. You see that guy at that age. You go to school Monday and try to imitate Stephon Arkell because he was the smooth dude. You had to walk, he had to dance. So
not all of us.
Not all. Well, I did. You try to imitate Stephon Arkell. So, but yeah, man, Family Matters was a great show. Always had a good topic. Even on the serious shows, it always hit home to what could really been going on in the world or in your household at that time. So, Family Matters number 2. My number 1 on Dean's top 5 list. Drum roll, please.
We can get some sound effects, man. I'll get you some sound effects.
Ain't that what the little thing that hit? Ting, ting. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the symbol. I don't know about that. But my number 1 on the top 5 Dean's list today, TV shows during the preteen years, will be none other than Save by the Bell.
Yeah, let that soak in.
Hey man, if
That's what we
you
need right there. Ta-da!
if you did not watch Saved by the Bell, you didn't live life. If you was around that age, anywhere the age, I think it might have been from maybe 11 to like 14. Saved by the Bell years. Man, I'm telling you, the Zach, Kelly Kapowski, Jesse Spano, AC Slater, Screech, and Lisa, and along with Mr. Belding, you can't come up with a better teen show. Like comedy wise, that was like our show, and it was a lot of shows, but that was the show that you watched every Saturday morning to the point like when they started showing like reruns. Like I think into my senior year, I would sit there and watch like 2 episodes before I even leave out the house to go to school when we was in high school. Damn near being late to school because I had to watch them 2 episodes. They brought them on TBS on like weekday mornings. So I would sit there and watch 2 episodes before even getting in the car to go to school. That's how big a fan I was of it. Then they went on to Saved by the Bell of college years. That was pretty good, but it didn't have nothing on the high school year. So that's my number one show, man, was Saved by the Bell on Dean's top 5 list.
Yay! Oh, I want that sound for Paco.
Yay!
The little yay!
Yay!
Yeah, those things though. Well, look, before I let you get the last word, man, we covered a lot. Please join us next week when we talk about blended families and Kanye West, Antichrist or no. You know, I can't believe you talked me into a conspiracy Dean segment. Lord,
man, it's gonna
be
be
with
great.
us. So look, man. Again, like we were talking about with the Kyrie and the Wiggins and all these people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I need all of us to get to a point where we're either get vaccinated or because even the vaccinated, like you said, can still contract it. Now that's another point that we didn't make earlier, is that this was never touted as a cure or 100% blocker.
Mm-hmm.
What vaccinations do is they don't cure or eradicate necessarily, right? What they do is they equip your body to fight off a foreign virus, right? We all got vaccination to go to, I almost said church, to go to school. The idea being like polio was a thing that was killing kids. They came up with a vaccination. They gave out said vaccinations. And then the people who we voted on, decided to make it mandatory for people to go to school. And in doing so, who did we grow up with that had polio? Anybody?
Yeah,
Name one person that had polio.
You got me on them.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how these things work. Okay? The reason that polio doesn't exist is because we did a vaccination and we fought it long enough until we got rid of it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So understanding it's not about making sure you can't get it. It's not about making sure it cures you if you do have it. Because there was an anti-vaxxer. It was a doctor who was sharing his story. An anti-vaxxer who's all about not wearing masks and not being vaccinated. The government can't tell me what to do. Even though you got a social security number, you got a frapping license, right? There's a speed limit on the highway that belongs to the government, which kind of belongs to us, but whatever, right? But on their deathbed, when it got towards the end, it got so bad and they knew they were about to die, they asked for the vaccination. And it's like, that's not how the vaccination works. That type of misinformation cost that particular person their life, So we got to start educating ourselves, and which means reading, which means people with little platforms or great platforms like you and I have to have these civil debates, right? Where you do your research and bring it to the table. I'll bring mine. We have a conversation and hopefully we can get somewhere. But at the very least, people are getting educated, right? We don't have polio anymore because of vaccinations, right? Dean could name someone with polio, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, my wife's grandfather, hey, it's my grandfather. We married. So our grandfather had polio. He got through it, but it messed with his legs to where he couldn't play sports or, get drafted or anything like that. But that's crazy. Our grandfather. So that means polio wasn't that long ago. But then I ask you, which is just 2 generations away from him, right? Name a person that we went to school with that had polio, and you couldn't do it. That was because of the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. You're skeptical. You should be, because U.S., we've done some crazy stuff to our own people and people abroad. So I get the skepticism. But I think people, once they see the bigger picture, maybe that'll help us in the long run. But like you said, the government shouldn't be telling people what to do. But if you think about it, NBA is a private institution, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they make their rules, just like the teams have their own team rules. Each coach brings in his own culture, right, within that. So there's always somebody, in charge and making the rules. So if you want government to be out of it and leave it to the people, a lot of people, just like these stores, you see these Karen videos, people coming into private stores and demanding to be able to not wear a mask. Like, no, this is my house. This is my house. You can't do it here. No shoes, no shirt, no vaccine, no mask, no service. And that's what a lot of people are doing these days. So we got to be fair to them too, who are just trying to do the best that they can as well. But with that, Dean, last word.
Y'all know what it is, man. Last word, man. In the crazy times we living in, man, you got to stay focused and you got to check on your people, because we're living in a crazy time. From one day to the other, you don't know when you're going to get that phone call. You don't know when you're going to get that text. You don't know when you're going to see that post of somebody that you knew for years and years done passed away. And it's more common today than it ever has been. You could be talking to somebody right now, and 4 hours later to 24 hours later, they be gone. So think about what you say to the people that you talk to. Think about your conversations. Make sure you don't say nothing that you're going to regret or have to take back. Love yourself. Love your people. Check on your people. Just check on people in general. You see somebody out, speak. It ain't nothing wrong with speaking to somebody. I live in a state where I don't really know nobody, but I speak anytime I go out. That's just how I am, because you don't never know from one day to the other, are you ever going to be here? So we got to get to that as a whole country, and maybe we'll be okay. It's a long shot, but we can do it. So that's my word to you people. Love yourself. Love your people. Check on your people at all times. Think about what you say to somebody before you say it, because you'll never know when that person's last day will be. All right. And as you go, we go. And we're going to come together as a whole. Peace and love. See y'all next week.